Hi, I'm not super sure if it's clear from my channel content, whatever that is, what I'm actually doing, and I'm not sure I know myself. But part of the idea is that I'm trying to help people find solutions to tech stuff or offer an opinion or hopefully some insight. Today's video is a little bit different because I want to talk about very weird weight loss tips that are not toxic or unhealthy and actually worked for me in the past. Yeah. I told you it's a little bit of a different video. Anyway, I was pretty chubby like 10 years ago, maybe, yeah, and then in between. I have my ups and downs. And so during that time, I had a lot of health issues as well because of me being overweight. I had higher blood pressure. For me, that means that it was about 130 over 90 millimeters mercury, and that to many people is a normal blood pressure, but to me it was not. Like, my normal is 100 over 80. If I go anywhere near 130, I get very bad migraines. Not headaches, freaking migraines. And so a lot of people could not understand when I said that I felt super unhealthy, fat, unfit, and just in general like unhappy when I was at a higher weight, which for me was something at the higher end of the 50s, 60 kilograms or something like that, versus my normal weight is around, I don't know, 45, 46, right? And so I lost these 15 kilograms. And after that, I swear I was in the shape of my life. I ran half marathon, I was super fit, and I would be bike riding every day. But how did I get there? And before you even say anything, I'm a tiny person, and I'm also not a huge fan of the BMI, especially for small people or muscular people. I think if you are at the lower end of the height scale, you're screwed. Either way, both by what you can consume without gaining a lot of weight, but also kind of by the mathematics that medical personnel employs. Yeah, let's just not talk about that. They don't know math, okay? We can all agree they do not know math. They should stay away from it and leave it to mathematicians, physicists, engineers. But how did I get there? Like, how did I gain so much weight? I think at some point I had like 20 kilograms more than my feel-good weight, which was like 65 kilograms. And at that point, I had like headaches every day. It was so bad that I could sometimes barely get out of bed. I would have migraines twice a day sometimes. And yes, all of this was very much weight related because when I lost the weight, problem was gone, along with a bunch of other problems that were also gone. And I did lose that weight in a pretty unhealthy manner back then, in like 2 or 3 months only. But nonetheless, I think that other people might be able to take something out of it, because after all, the main insight that I had from this weight loss was that I didn't lose the weight because I set my mind to losing the weight. I lost the weight because I got to a different place in my life. I met a person that I liked. I went more outside, hung out with friends, went on, I don't know, fun evening events. And I moved more, but not because I wanted to do sports. I did not sign up for the gym or anything. I just rode my bike to university instead of taking the bus. And I did that day in and day out. It was winter, it was cold. I was always sweaty despite it being cold, and I took off my rain jacket and everything, and I was cold in the lecture hall, and it wasn't fun. But for some reason I just started doing this because it was more practical than to miss the bus every day and be late to the lecture. And the really interesting thing about it all is that I didn't plan this. So I was struggling with my weight at this point because I was eating junk food all the time. I was stressed from studying, and I just didn't take good care of myself. But then all of a sudden, I just became more active. And I think that this is like such an underestimated thing, especially if I look at videos from like health coaches. Just, don't we all just fucking hate coaches? Unless they're like figure skating coaches. I have no beef with them. Like people who are actually doing sports and teaching kids stuff. Yeah, okay. But these lifestyle idiots who just spread wisdom that they learn from what? Their own life? I mean, look at me. I can do that too in this very fucking video. But I'm not claiming shit. And I'm not taking hundreds of euros or whatever your currency is from people to tell them basic common sense shit. So this is why I'm sharing my common sense shit and my experience here. So it's for free. So you can take out of that whatever you want. Anyway, I talked a lot with friends about this problem and about how I lost this weight, and by the way, kept it off for a long time. Then later I got pregnant. That is another ordeal, and we're gonna talk about that later, how I dealt with that, maybe if you are interested in that kind of thing. Because pregnancy, that's screwed with my head. But yeah, back then, my problem was mostly that I was so super sedentary and I basically had like no muscle, but a lot of fat, and it was not comfortable for me. On top of the migraines, like I didn't look good, I had a double chin, I had huge boobs. Oh, huge boobs, that's great. Why don't you like huge boobs? Because they're fucking impractical if you want to run a marathon or half marathon or just go grocery shopping without sweating underneath those fuckers. Just ask any woman with big boobs. Like I swear, mostly probably hate them. Like I'm telling you, the only people who like and want big boobs are people with small boobs. But back on topic. I had no idea what was going on and how weight loss all of a sudden was so much easier for me than it was before, because I was struggling with this for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, something. And I just could not change my habits. I just could not find it within me to just do things differently so I would see results. I've been thinking about this for a while, and like at some point I discovered the rat park experiment, which is a pretty cool setup where behavioral biologists, or probably biologists who did that, those scientists put rats in a really nice ratosphere, like a little park where they had stuff to play with and a lot of buddies and interesting rat stuff. And then they gave them heroin water and normal water to drink. But the actual interesting part about this is that an experiment like this was done a while before that park experiment. And in that experiment, scientists had concluded that, you know, the rats in their sad little ugly cages all by themselves, if you give them heroin water here and normal water there, what do you think they're doing? They're getting high because their life is fucking miserable. But the rat park rats, they didn't do that, you know. They preferred, I don't know, making out with their rat spouses, I guess. So they rarely ever went to the heroin water and just got high and enjoyed themselves, I guess. But most of the time they just drank the normal tap water or whatever biology labs have. Like, I don't know, in Germany you can drink the tap water. Literally everywhere. Not from fountains though, that's not tap water, that's icky fountain water, alright? Don't drink that if you ever come to Germany. I've just recently seen 2 Americans drink fountain water from a fountain in the middle of Marienplatz. Like, ew. And I told them not to drink that, and they looked at me and they said, but it looks clear. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I thought Americans were afraid of tap water, but I don't know. Maybe they were from California and tap water there is okay. I don't know. Anyway, the rats drank mostly the water without the heroin as soon as they had a life. And so that is something that really had me thinking, because for a long time I thought I just got lucky. And yeah, essentially I did. I just got lucky because my circumstances in life changed, and if they hadn't, I probably never would have changed my ways. I would have never replaced my stupid and unhealthy habits and sitting around at home on my ass, just eating junk food, getting fat. I would have never replaced that with healthy habits had I not been lucky. Had I not met a person that I liked, had I not had success in university, had I not met the right people, had I not had a suddenly longer way to university, I would have been unlucky. I would not have lost that weight. I'm pretty convinced that's just how it went down for me, and that in the end it was all a coincidence. But I still think that I can learn from this coincidence, because first of all, you can always ask for help. You can ask others for help to make your life better, to help you make your life better. You can voice the idea that you want to make your life something else and not that miserable thing that keeps you eating junk food. You want to make your life a piece of art, and you want to make it productive and healthy, and you want to come home and feel like, I like sitting down in my room. I like watching a movie. I like talking to the person I am with. I like watching my kids. I like seeing the sunset. You want to have these thoughts instead of, boy, I feel like shit. I'm so tired. My life is hell. Just 10 years ago, I was so much happier. Like, if that is you, you really need to change something. But maybe it's just not in the cards for you and you are super unlucky, because I believe that a lot of people just, they walk around and they're not really aware of their existence. They're not really clear-minded and they don't actually see what's in front of them. Some people, over the course of their life, will hit something casually called rock bottom, and then they get this little wake-up call, which is literally cognitively a wake-up call, so that they become self-conscious and invoke the changes that I want to have. I did not hit rock bottom. Maybe I would have, like after I had gained another 20 kilograms. I don't know, maybe I would have hit rock bottom once I had, I don't know, brain aneurysm or some other shit. I don't know what is lingering in my brain. I mean, actually I do got an MRI, so my brain's fine. At least it was 10 years ago, physiologically. And so anyway, a while back, I had been in a similar situation again, and I started getting headaches again because I went over my okay weight, like where I feel good. I don't care what society thinks. I don't care if people call me skinny or unhealthy looking. I don't give a flying rat's ass. But what I do care about is how I feel, how I look. Am I muscular? Am I building muscle or am I losing muscle? And do I feel like skinny fat or slouchy, right? I don't want to feel slouchy. That's like the worst feeling. And the more muscle I have, the faster I get out of bed in the morning. That is the feeling I'm going for. Getting up in the morning, like, you know, remember when you were 12 or I don't know, 5, and in the morning was like, boom, you were awake. And then you were super motivated to do shit, like kid stuff. What do kids do in the morning? Annoy their parents with the glitter skirt they want to wear, that stuff. You had the energy to argue with your parents. I have energy to argue with nobody. Like if somebody starts arguing with me, like in real life, if I meet some toxic bitch mom at the rink, I'm just like, yeah, good for you. And then I do my own shit. I don't deal with those people. I don't have the energy for that. And maybe that is a good thing, you know, as part of growing up, that you just grow a little bit tired of certain types of humans, right? That's a good thing. But the low energy levels in the morning, and no, it's not my thyroid, and no, it's not my period or some other shit. I know how to write a blood panel, so not that. Because like whenever you talk about your personal health in a video, there is this one person in the comment section who recommends a guy who's basically everything remedy is drinking celery juice. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to give this guy more traffic on my platform. So if you mention this person, your comment is deleted. Team science. Fuck this shit. Anyway, my problems were not resolved by celery juice or some other juice. Although I really like homemade lemonade, but that doesn't help with weight loss. Moving more and eating less does. Anyway, so I found myself back in a similar situation a while ago. I was getting closer to this discomfort weight where my headaches start. And I knew I had to do something. But this time, I wouldn't want to leave it to chance, right? This time, I wanted to intervene as soon as possible. And you know what I did? Yeah, I just got lucky again. But again, we can learn from my luck, because the luck is only partially luck. Because I have so little time. I also have fewer time to stuff my face with junk food. And I also, like, the more I move and then the more I get around, the less I feel the need to eat, like, I don't know, a donut. When I'm on the go and there is a donut store and I also have the opportunity to eat a tangerine. Right now, if you give me a donut or a tangerine, I just had miso soup. I want the tangerine, I don't want the donut. And if you put it in front of me, maybe not a tangerine, that's like a little boring, but you have a fruit salad without the syrup. Just a fruit salad. Like, we Germans don't put syrup in salad, that's ew. And you have the donut on the other side. I would go for the fruit salad because it's delicious, and the donut is just, ew, I'm hurting my teeth, I'm hurting my abdomen, I'm hurting my body. I don't want that in my body. And this shift happened over a few weeks, because 3 months ago, I would have picked the donut. And the circumstances right now for me are just so that I don't have the time to eat junk food anymore. I make my own food. I started doing that. Is it just a coincidence? Because I bought 2 new cookbooks and started cooking delicious food, and now I like that food better than the food that I can buy, and I eat it all the time. I learned how to make delicious dips. Now I like those better than the ones that I can buy, and there are also fewer calories in there. Win-win. On top of that, I signed up again for figure skating lessons. You know, my kid is a figure skater, but I also started skating along with her, and now she jumps a lot and I jump the crappy waltz jump. But I'm trying, you know, adult skating is hard. And I go figure skating like, I don't know, 3 times a week. And on top of that, 5 times a week, I take public transport or the bike to get my kid to the ice rink. I am just on the road quite a bit, and I'm just moving a lot more. And that is due to these changed circumstances. So of course I lost a lot of weight just because of these circumstances. But my point is, you can make these circumstances, and it takes 0 discipline. Like, I don't have discipline. I just don't enjoy driving in Munich traffic because it's awful, so I'm taking public transport, so I have to walk a lot. Did I make these circumstances? I don't know, but I could have, you know? Because before, when I lost the weight, I could have taken my car. There was no traffic jam in the city where I studied ever, and I could have just used my car, driven to university every day because I worked there as well, so I had a parking spot. And I could have just gone there and parked there, which I did for a while, and then I got fat, and then I didn't anymore. And so yeah, sometimes it's luck, but it's also how you design your circumstances. And I don't think I can emphasize this enough, because people forget that once they put some mechanism in place that just forces them to live a different lifestyle, it's easier to adhere to that different lifestyle, other than to say to yourself, oh, I am just going to this artificial space where I have to work out every day. Yeah, I'm talking about the gym, because I am not going to the gym anymore. I signed up, but I just use the sauna now. I do enough cardio just by carrying a 5 to 7 kilogram backpack with my kids' stuff in it, with all the skating gear, and my laptop on top of that, and sometimes my kid on top of that, walking 10,000 steps a day, and then also going to the rink myself 3 times a week, and actually skating, like not like leisurely moving around on the ice. No, I'm doing figure skating, I'm doing figures, and for that you need a lot of shoulder tension and body tension, and you need to keep like a good posture, and you know, it is a little bit exhausting. You break a sweat if you do that, like if you do it like I do, and that doesn't mean it has to look good. And so due to this circumstantial change, my lifestyle changed. But I didn't tell myself, oh, I have to change my life, I have to change my lifestyle, I have to come up with all these artificial measures that then make me burn more calories and lose weight. And most of all, I did not obsess over this whole idea of losing weight. So it almost feels like it just came to me. But the reality is, I did stop eating a lot of junk food. I do make my own food. I do move more. I do cardio daily, right? So I do all the stuff that, I don't know, overpriced fitness coaches tell you, but I do them casually. And this is like my super secret tip, I guess, to do all the things that you need to do, but casually. So it feels like you're doing that on the side. You're not concentrating on it, you know, because if you go to the gym and you go there and you feel like, oh, I worked out, I've burned some calories. And then you're checking in with yourself. Did I lose the weight? Oh no, I didn't, because you know, all my liver is doing is storing a lot of water now that I've carved up, and now I actually weigh 1 kilogram or 2 more, and now I'm frustrated because I don't understand physiology. Yeah, and then you're like that. So I don't go on the scale every day because that is stupid. I go on the scale maybe once a week or twice a week to check in, you know. And I do that on a day where I don't feel bloated and I didn't have a bag of chips the day before, so I have all this salt in my body, which then is grabbing onto all the water that I drank, and then I have like 2 kilograms extra water weight, and then I feel like, oh no. If you're starting to measure yourself, you're gonna put too much emphasis on that, but if you were absolutely never tracking what is happening, then you don't have like an objective parameter for your progress, which is also not good. And an objective parameter can be anything. It can be a look in the mirror and like take an actual photo, and then 3 weeks later to take another photo and see, oh, I actually look more defined and less bloated and less watery, right? You can take pictures, you can take videos, or you can step on the scale. And to me, none of this is like toxic or problematic as long as you do it in a way that is, as I said, casual and chill. And just be chill with yourself and don't impose all these measures of discipline onto yourself. Maybe some people thrive doing that, but to me, I then feel resistance. Like if I try to compel myself to do something that I don't naturally enjoy, and I don't naturally enjoy doing cardio on the treadmill. I do enjoy doing cardio on the mountains, which is called hiking. So instead of wasting my time in the gym, I'm going to have a blast with my friends on a fucking Zugspitze or some other mountain, hopefully soon again, when it's warmer. I don't want to build my life around the activities. I want to build the activities around my life, to say it with a platitude. I think this is especially relevant because I see so many people who are struggling to lose weight in my friend circle, and whenever I talk to people, they all obsess about this idea of food and changing their eating routines and stuff like that. They obsess over all these details. They try to optimize themselves when it's really easiest if it comes naturally. And the only way to do that is to build all those measures into your life so they fit you and they fit your habits. So cardio is not going on a treadmill, and strength training for me is not lifting weights. Strength training for me is lifting my kid. Strength training for me is carrying grocery bags. Strength training for me is doing jumps and figure skating. That helps me maintain muscle mass, and that helps me build new muscle mass, or muscle cells. I'm not gonna get into the physiology of it. You gotta find that one thing that is fun for you, or that is at least kind of effortless for you, and then you will reach those goals. You will reach those goals without even thinking about it. And the best thing is that you stop thinking about this kind of weight loss journey or weight loss idea, that it becomes less and less significant in your life. But then you start seeing the results, and suddenly you think, well, I actually did okay. And so this is the point where I'm at right now, and I'm really happy about it, because a while back I thought I was going down this fast food rabbit hole again, and that soon I would be at a 60 kilograms and unhealthy and unhappy, and then life happened. And then I reminded myself of how I did it last time, and just tried and reproduce that energy, that mindset, that, if you will, string of thoughts. And I guess that the biggest shift is that instead of beating yourself up, you gotta get to the point where you're a little bit proud of yourself. Not full of yourself, not like, oh, I did well today, now I can eat a taco. No, but I did okay today. I am actually happy. Just like if you walk down the street and there's like a nice ray of sunshine coming on your face, wear SPF 50 if you want to look like me when you're 40, because I'm almost 40. And I've been told that I don't look like 40, so SPF 50. But you have nice sunlight on your face, it's a nice spring day, and you feel like you're not enjoying that, then your life is not good. Okay? I mean, unless you have like a headache and then you have a reason physiologically to not enjoy the sunlight, enjoy the light, spring breeze and smell of cherry blossom, I don't know. But if you cannot allow yourself to feel good about these little moments, to be mindful in these little moments, and something is off. I see that in a lot of people who struggle with change or with weight loss or with any kind of thing that they want to accomplish. It's like they cannot enjoy themselves until they accomplish that. But if you feel like that, you will never get there, because you will always be unhappy then if you have reached your, goal weight or whatever magic number you made up in your brain. You will have another goal. You will have the next thing to deal with, and you will also not be happy with that. So you gotta start living in the moment more, placing emphasis on these easy to do, easy to implement routines that will change your life over time, and just trust the process. I'm not trying to bro science you, because, I don't believe in platitudes and this general life coach crap advice myself. But this is just my experience, and I hope that you can learn a little bit from that you can see sometimes a circumstantial shift is half the work. And if you can provoke that circumstantial shift by gradually changing the conditions of how you are living, and that can be something like where you are living, that can be something like with who you are living, or what your job is, or what your distance to your workplace is, or what kind of sports you're picking up. Because maybe you're not going to the gym because you just don't like the gym. I don't like the gym, so I'm going figure skating, and it's just as good as no, it's actually better. Yeah, that's it.